It was once one of the most powerful political organizations in America, harnessing the voices of major celebrities.
From my cold, dead hands.
And striking fear in the hearts of elected officials.
Gun-hating politicians should never go to bed unafraid of what this association and all of our millions of members can do to their political careers.
But after decades of wielding outsized influence over the issue of gun control, the National Rifle Association is now facing the biggest crisis in its history.
Wayne LaPierre, the head of the National Rifle Association, has been accused by the New York Attorney General of siphoning millions of dollars away from the nonprofit organization for his own personal use. Personal use means all of the things that you would expect it to: trips on private jets, trips to the Bahamas, and quote-unquote lavish perks like private security, travel consultants, and fancy dinners. To do this, he skirted laws and evaded law enforcement, not just for years, but for decades. An attorney with the AG's office told the jury on Monday that the NRA was Wayne's World, which is disrespectful to actual Wayne's World.
They use millions upon millions of dollars from the NRA for personal use, including for lavish trips for themselves and their families.
The case alleges LaPierre billed the NRA over $500,000 for 8 family private jet trips to the Bahamas. Leaked internal documents posted on the internet and reported by the Wall Street Journal show he billed another $40,000 for a single shopping trip to a Zegna boutique in Beverly Hills. A judge denied the AG's bid to dissolve the NRA entirely, so any money recovered would flow back to the group, which says it has cleaned up its financial affairs.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
But yes, he's been doing this for decades. LaPierre has been the head of the NRA for over 30 years, but that tenure is finally coming to a close. Last week, he announced that he would be leaving the NRA. The NRA itself, along with other NRA leaders, are all mentioned in the lawsuit, and they are all facing similar allegations of misusing nonprofit funds and flouting legality. According to the suit, the NRA lost more than $64 million in just 3 years, thanks in part to this corrupt leadership. The case will be heard by 12 jurors, 6 of them are alternates, and the 6-week trial will hear testimony from nearly 120 witnesses. None of the defendants have been criminally charged, but the NRA has been fighting this for some time. After failed attempts to get the suit dismissed, even after the NRA filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the AG's office is moving forward with the suit. And apart from even the suit and the bankruptcy, though, the NRA has been in trouble for a while now. The organization goes back to 1871, but recent years have been particularly rough on the organization. From 2021 to 2022, membership dues fell by $14 million. Membership itself has fallen by nearly $2 million over the past 5 years, and the organization has faced intense public backlash and scrutiny as it's taken on a more visible role in national politics. All of that is bad, but the underlying issue that experts say will eventually lead to the NRA's downfall is all of this internal corruption and the mismanagement of funds that high-ranking officers like LaPierre are now being accused of. Rumors of this corruption and mismanagement are already said to have been part of the reason for the diminishing memberships and membership dues, so a public court case will only serve to bolster and legitimize those rumors. And yes, there's power in transparency, but we know who we're dealing with here.
Many in legacy media love mass shootings. You guys love it. Now, I'm not saying that you love the tragedy, but I am saying that you love the ratings. Crying white mothers are ratings gold.
I was driving the other day to my friend's house, and to get from my house to her house, I have to drive through some pretty rural spots. The billboards are all either Jesus or guns, and I saw one business that was offering free Bibles and gift cards for guns. Seriously. The business itself had nothing to do with either of those things, but it didn't matter. They wanted you to know exactly who you would be dealing with if you chose to patronize that business. My point is that there's a culture associated with the NRA that is less easily toppled even if the NRA goes down. People may not like the NRA, they may not like it as an organization, they may not want to give their money to it anymore, But that doesn't mean that they still don't believe in the most ardent tenets of gun rights and gun ownership in this country. That doesn't mean that if the NRA fails, something else won't rise up to replace it, or that there at least won't be some kind of demand for a nationally recognized gun lobby. Not only that, but the issue of gun ownership and all of the talking points that have been peddled by the NRA for years don't go away overnight. It took years of downplaying and ignoring mass shootings for the American public to become numb to it. It took years of Second Amendment-related propaganda and slogans and chants and rallies to solidify guns and weaponry as an integral part of American culture. Hopefully, it won't take as long to undo some of that ideological damage that the NRA has inflicted on our country and on our people, but it will take some time. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and check out my podcast, Modern Context. Thanks.